I'm Alison Hartson, and I'm running for United States Senate. I worked for a dental management corporation. It was a growing corporation, amazing people that I worked with, and they offered me to take over their insurance department to run it. I would have been making a real pretty penny, like a lot of money, and I took the weekend to think about it, and I came back and I gave them my 2 months notice, and I decided I was going to instead focus on finishing college. I have 8 brothers and sisters, a very large family, and I've been the only person in my family who has been able to have the opportunity to graduate college. And I did that with the fierce determination to become a teacher. And it was difficult, and it was a sacrifice, and it was a pay cut, but at the end of the day, I have always asked myself, what are my values? Where do they come from? Are they mine? And am I really living by them? And that was what helped me make that decision to become a teacher, and it was what helped me make the decision to leave teaching, that what really was my life and is my heart, to fight to get big money out of politics, because I saw while I was teaching that how money in our political system is affecting not just schools as this like objective word, but human beings, my students who I cared so much about, and their families. They're first, second, third generation immigrants from Mexico, primarily at the school I taught at, and Vietnam. And I saw some of my students, they're like my kids. I saw some of those families being ripped apart by immigration policies. And just one thing after another, I couldn't take it anymore. And so I had to leave that to get this done sooner so that we can help more people around the country and in the state. And that's when I decided to get involved in the movement, and it was through that I found Wolfpack through doing a Google search online. Wolfpack is a political organization that is solely working on the issue of money in politics, and specifically to get that 28th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And, you know, I read the plan. I read Wolfpack's plan online, and it was not only the most logical plan, but it was the most aggressive one. And I understand, and I know that the people of this country and the state of California in particular understand that this issue of our democracy being corroded by the wealthy elite who are incapable of understanding, not necessarily bad people, but just incapable of understanding the issues that we deal with is systemic, and it's urgent. It is fiercely urgent. We've got to do everything we can right now, and that's why I made the difficult decision to leave teaching to do this full time. We have to do that, and while we're doing that, we also have to make sure that we have Medicare for all throughout the country, that we have a $15 minimum wage that is tied to inflation. Every human being deserves to make a living wage, and we need to make sure that students who earn their way into college can afford it. We need free tuition for college. We need to deprivatize our public education system. We need to deprivatize our private prisons and our detention centers. The list goes on. They all feed on one another. And so we need people in Congress who are going to understand that all of these issues have to be moving forward at the same time. Dianne Feinstein,
not a Democrat. Just because you have a D after your name doesn't mean you're a Democrat. And I think that people are waking up to that reality. And so she is a corporatist. Some people think that she's a Republican, and she's proven this time and again with her votes. You know, she voted for the Bush tax cuts. The Bush tax cuts gave us $1.5 trillion of debt. And she's not going to pay for that. We are going to pay for that. Our kids are going to pay for that. That's what she voted for. She voted for the Iraq War. The Iraq War cost $7 trillion. So she voted for us to spend $7 trillion to kill hundreds of thousands of civilians for what I consider to be an illegal war. Voting for a war where you don't have hard evidence that justifies us going into that war, as far as I'm concerned, is treason. She does not deserve to be sitting in office. I can't believe that she's still sitting in office after the votes that she has cast. She supported the TPP. She's against Glass-Steagall. She supports the death penalty. She is for the war on drugs. In 2010, she led a campaign against legalizing marijuana. She is against Medicare for all.
Dianne Feinstein is worth an estimated $80 million. She's taken millions of dollars from Big Pharma. She's taken millions of dollars from corporations. She's taken millions of dollars from defense contractors. And these influence her decisions. And it's no surprise, right? And so as long as we get out there and we vote and help me to get the word out, and let's do this together. This isn't about me, this is about us. All of us have got to come together and show up every single day to make up for the money that she's gonna raise. And that's what we're gonna do.